Hello and welcome to the Loose Butthole Reviews. Today we are reviewing the TV show MoonKnight from Disney Plus.
Hello.
Alright, hello. Since this is your first time watching this, and I know I've been doing this quite often lately, letting you lead the reviews, but let's open with your take,
Mm.
since I
All right.
have a different take, because this is technically my third viewing of this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I'd say for rating wise of the series overall, I'm gonna say 4.5.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah. I really there's a lot of aspects I actually really like this even over um the Loki series too. I really like the fact that this is could just totally be standalone. There's nothing hinging on any type of Marvel knowledge or of any of the movies or any of the universe in it. That way I was able to kind of like lose myself just in the story that was there.
Yes, I completely understand that.
I'm not thinking about like, oh, is Doctor Strange going to show up or like wonder what he's going to be doing about this because because like if they had too much of that, then it's kind of like other than like then they could easily explain like if he is in this universe too, um, that like that multiverse stuff could be happening right now, so he's distracted because this feels like something that especially with the night sky being like
Oh
gifted all over
yeah,
the
like
world. You think
he's
that he'd be
constantly,
like seeing
yeah, he
seeing
like
what's up?
shift the night sky like three times in this. Yeah, for sure. That definitely would catch the attention of the quote unquote sorcerer supreme.
Yeah, and like he totally break the story because like I don't know, we've seen him deal with like Loki and just like you know shut him
Yeah,
up
and
like
and that
instantly.
that's one thing that I don't care for about that. That's just in general they depower the gods even though they don't need to. Like
Yeah.
the uh I'm I'm kind of torn with my rating, to be honest. I wasn't expecting a 4.5 from you. To be honest,
I
this is
really
I
think
think
it really hinged on the actors in this. Like everyone was did really well. Like I could see myself being bored with the story if they like miscast just the slightest bit.
you even liked Layla?
Layla was I thought she was fine. I didn't exactly care for like the little like they're kind of trying to make her a little bit kind of almost like a female Moon Knight when she was having like the voice thing going on when she was it
Yeah,
almost felt like they were emulating that a little bit, but at least it was just that was just the god talking. It wasn't like another personality or something coming out of nowhere.
yeah, and I do have to explain they made her a female version of a superhero called the Scarlet Scarab. They never mention her
Oh,
name, but that's why the scarab on her piece is scarlet.
yeah, and that makes sense that they boosted. I mean, they have that inner storyline, like the Scarab, like uh, uh
That's
what
what her
was it?
dad
Like
called
a
her.
thing, hanker. Yeah, and that's why she made that thing that was the identifiable thing on his body. I
Yeah, it was the Scarlet Scarab
was blanking out.
handkerchief.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was a scarf. Yeah,
scarf. Yeah,
scarf was the word I was trying to. I couldn't think of scarf for some reason because I never wear those.
I think this is gonna be another Paranorman situation where you enjoyed this a little more than I did.
Yeah,
Cause I think I'm gonna be at a four. I think I'm at a four right now. Cause I want at least 5 more minutes per episode. This went by way
mhm.
too quickly. I want
Especially
more.
compared to the first episode.
It's yes, that and just the simple fact this might be all of Moon Knight we get because this is supposed to be Disney, of course, backtracks all the time, but this is supposed to just be a standalone, you know, series that doesn't supposed to go anywhere. That's why we have the end credit season. The end credit season scene. I mean, where
Oh yeah,
it
yeah.
shows the
But mm,
where it
I
shows
could
the
totally see them going back on their word because that's very vague. They could be
yeah for
like,
sure.
"Oh, what we meant is that we're not going to try to integrate it too much in the MCU storyline. That it's going to be a standalone series, but it is going to have other seasons."
Uh, they
They're
haven't
probably waiting to
clarified
see
that.
how
That's
the
what I'm scared of. And if
yeah,
this
that's
is, and this is the thing, like they did Moon Knight really fucking well. Like they didn't integrate everything from the comics, but the limo that Jake Lockley drives with the Spectre license plate,
mm,
that's directly from the comics. Khonshu wearing a suit like he was wearing, that's directly from the fucking comics. Jake Lockley, Stephen Grant, and Mark Spector, all three of them are from the comics. They just
yeah.
miss having because what most people don't realize, Moon Knight and Mr. Knight are supposed to also be two more personalities that are supposed to be
Mm,
around. Moon Knight's supposed to be a completely separate personality, but
ah.
they kind of did away with all that, which I'm kind of upset about not getting a Mr. Knight at least. But
Mm,
for what we got with the Mr. Knight outfit, I think they did it justice.
yeah. I could see why and I totally understand. I'm not bothered by them simplifying that because yeah, it could be a little bit of a mess of try to do that. Like,
But they
well,
they changed his wife. I think that's about it. They changed
mhm,
who his wife was, which that's just to give her more, seniority into the story, which I don't actually mind. I actually don't
yeah,
mind the fact that she ends up becoming a superhero at the end of this because I know that it's a little like PC too PC maybe, but it's pretty cool. We finally have an Egyptian superhero after all this time, even though the Scarlet Scarab was already around. So technically, Disney is
I did feel like there was just like yeah that one really rough scene of just like I get what they were going, but it seemed like all of a sudden like the show was jacking itself off for a second because they had that little girl be like, "Are you an Egyptian superhero?" Just like
yeah.
in
That's what I was
the
pointing
worst
out.
delivery ever.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
worst delivery ever. It's like, okay, guys, you didn't exactly need that. You could have just had her watch in amazement and we would have got that, and it would have been fun. But you didn't, you really needed to like stop the movie for a second and then have someone go, wow, finally. And then
Yeah, that's what I was pointing out. Like and it's not even true. I hate Disney keeps doing this. Like they've had like four live action movies where they put a gay character in it, and they've claimed that character is the first gay Disney character each time. It's aggravating that
Yep.
Disney keeps doing this.
And then they just have it so it's just super subtle so they could easily take those scenes out of it for the localization when they send it to China and stuff.
Yeah, they literally this ain't even part of Moon Knight, but American Chavez that's supposed to be an LGBT superhero. You know she's LGBT? She has a little pin flag on her jacket that you're supposed to be able to see that they can easily edit out for China.
Yep.
But yeah, it
Fake
just
woke.
let's get back to Moon Knight because I went on a bit of a tangent there. Uh,
Yeah.
like I said, it this just went by way too fast for me to give it a 4.5. I needed more,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to the actual like being in the Moon Knight or Mister Knight suit. Every
Mm-hmm.
time it was like, oh shit, the suit. Oh, the scene's over. And the only time we actually get any of the suit is with the heavy action, and then with that, it's you can't really enjoy it because they CGI the suit, and it gets that
Mm-hmm.
uncanny valley, and it's like, man, this could just be better if they did something better.
Yeah. I
and
totally understand that. It's definitely part of why I can't like give it any more. and I kind of understand that it goes by the kind of you know, the formula, you know, that
Oh, definitely. It
these
did
series
go
do.
by the
That
Marvel formula pretty hard. It, to be honest, it
but
went
it did it
through.
well.
I was gonna mention it. It went through the hero's journey. To be honest, if you don't
Yeah,
know, like the hero's journey is like the basic formula for writing a fucking like if you know like you can pick out like the call to adventure, the refusal of the power, the accepting the power,
yeah.
the trials and tribulations. You know they nailed the pinpoints. The seizing the sword that would literally be Mark giving his heart to Steven while they're in the Duat Desert and them
Hmm.
resurrecting. That would them be seizing the sword, and then they have the grand moment. And of course,
Yeah.
Disney was primarily the people that made that system up. It was one
Hmm.
a Disney employee, I believe, but man, they they kind of wore it on the sleeve a little bit in this.
Yeah, definitely the person who put that into an organized thought. But definitely that formula is as old as time, or at least as human tales.
Yeah, yeah, it's a much older formula. I was just trying to point
Yeah, I
out
was just
Disney
clarifying
was
what
the
you're
one
saying.
to
Yeah,
solidify it into like an actual categories and stuff.
yeah, yeah. But um, but yeah, I don't know. I think it was just I think partially it was just the breath of fresh air that it wasn't just like a bunch of references thrown at me to
For
other
sure, I
some of the
completely. There was a bunch of
other
comic book
content.
that they referenced the comic books of Moon Knight a
Yeah,
lot, but that's not bad at all. I
that's what
actually
you're supposed to be
love that.
doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
here for is the Moon Knight references.
yeah. It's not like oh wait, that was in Shang. I needed to see what was it? What's the new movie that was like Shang? What's the new movie?
Shang
That came
Chi.
out on Shang-Chi, yeah, it's not like you had to like watch Shang-Chi because there's like this one scene in Shang-Chi that would be referenced this scene, and then also you needed to watch Hawkeye to get this reference.
Yeah, that's what I
And to
hate.
know who
Like
this character is.
in order for me to like, I'm definitely waiting for them to put it on Disney Plus in 45 days. But I
Mm,
hate that I had to watch almost all rewatch all of Marvel just so I can understand what is going. Not just all of Marvel, but like all of the X-Men and Fantastic Four movies because that's canon now. Anything that's on Disney
mhm,
Plus, every single thing that's on Disney Plus that's under the Marvel moniker is canon to the MCU now.
mhm.
Yay!
Yay!
like
Everybody gets what they want.
like the X Men are here, the shitty Fantastic Four movies are here. Like, congratulations! I will say, I've seen some of the scenes already with Reed Richards. Uh, Jeff from The Office, he plays a really good Reed Richards, but we're going off topic again. I was going to
Oh.
ask before we went off topic, what did you think of Arthur Harrow, the villain of the story?
I really liked him. He had that he had a good cult leader vibe going through at it.
Is it
He kind of
weird?
reminds me a lot of he reminds me of who's the dude that played Bill in Kill Bill. He kind of reminds me of that guy.
Oh yeah. What is that dude's name?
He's like that guy without the lisp.
Oh man,
Or the without the speech impediment that he had.
that is.
I can't think of his name either.
I'm
Who
looking
died
it.
in a very unfortunate way.
I I'm
Or a
looking it up
very
now.
fortunate way if you look at it in different ways.
David Carradine. David Carradine.
Yeah, David Carradine.
Yeah, he does remind me. To be honest, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember if it's a David Koresh, but they literally quote occultly that I remember for a fact. There's a I think it's Jim Jones that says it, and I think he says it to the woman that he tortures with the snake that has my phobia of snakes.
Hmm.
The it's the point in the Jim Jones in the Jonestown story where I'm just like, can we just like murder Jim Jones in his sleep? Like the fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that is where the line of "I can't save someone that won't save themselves." I believe he says that to her
Hmm.
while she's freaking the fuck out on tape.
Yeah. Yeah, that's any I mean just like you could kind of feel like even though they don't even go fully or like flashback anything to like his past with Conchu, you could definitely like feel the tension and like between those characters. Like it's almost like I don't know, just like I didn't even hate him too much because he seemed so principled into what he was doing and kind of broken from his past.
Yeah, the only bad thing about what he was doing was they're judging people before they do anything, including
Mhm.
children. So, and I like Stephen Grant. That's kind of where I draw the line is at child murder.
Yeah. And I mean, and he really did show that, like, why he's definitely the last person who should be, who should be, like,
An
being
avatar.
like, fronting this. Yeah. Because, like, huh?
I didn't say nothing.
Sorry. Oh, gotcha. He's the last one that should be, like, head fronting this movement because of, I mean, he shows that his scales are unbalanced. She tells him that's why she even, wants
Yeah,
him as a
because the
avatar.
yeah his the her previous avatar, the Alexander the Great that they reveal, which
Hmm.
it for history buffs out there, yes, that he did claim that he was Egyptian and that he was a
Oh
pharaoh.
yeah.
He loved even though that he was a Greek king. Had he might have
You'd
been
be surprised at how
Egyptian.
much those.
He he
Well, it
but
actually goes into that relationship between those societies. I mean, there
yeah,
was
but
different gods that you could go
the
and worship at like the
probability
different temples
of
that would be the equal.
the
Mm.
probability of the real Alexander the Great being Egyptian is like extremely fucking low. The only way you would be able to prove it is if his tomb, which no one has ever found, is buried in Egypt. That would literally be like the only way you could fucking prove it. And
Yeah,
even
I
then
wouldn't argue that he's.
you would still have to test the DNA just to make double
Yeah,
sure.
I wouldn't argue that he's Egyptian, but I wouldn't be surprised if he picked up the
Yeah,
religion
just
of
wanted the
the
power because
Egyptians
pharaohs were
because
supposed to be
they
gods as well, and that's probably what he wanted to be known as.
yeah, and also just in with I mean just like even in with the Romans and stuff, I mean they would go to Egypt and worship at those temples because like they had like the gods that were equal to the gods that they worshipped, like their Egyptian equivalents that they saw, and they had a pretty open relationship with like that religion, I'd
Yeah,
say.
but the Greeks weren't as open with they were actually kind of
Mm.
shut off. It the and that's the thing. He Alexander the Great was a Greek king. He wasn't Roman. He was
Yeah, that's I was
Macedonian.
just saying.
He the
Yeah,
part
he
of
was
the he was
Macedonian,
the Macedonian king
but
after
I'm pretty sure that those societies
After
have been
King Philip II.
interactions for
If I'm
for a
not
long
mistaken,
time.
it was King Philip II that he succeeded.
And who's the dude that fell in love with Cleopatra
That might have
that
been
started that whole war?
I
That had to be Romans, right? Because that was later.
yeah, that had to be that was way later on.
Yeah, that was Romans. But I just know that those societies have had a lot of interactions and influences on each other since
Yeah,
they have been
the
growing
especially
up
when the
next to each
Romans
other.
were extremely open, they had a very open policy when it came to their religion. As long as you didn't deny their gods and like try to force your worship onto them, they would completely accept your gods into their pantheon and do some haphazard like myth to like explain why these gods have stumbled onto each other and why they were missing from like the pantheon.
Well, yeah, usually it was because it would be like, well, yeah, what they call Phoebus is actually like Hermes, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of almost how like, but sometimes they would literally just take some god because I know there was like Persian gods that they just straight up worshipped because they and didn't like
Mm,
adopt and say like this god's Athena and shit like that.
yeah. I just know that they're, and I know it's not Greek, but I just know that the with the Roman society, they were infatuated with Egyptian society. That was like
Oh yeah, for
one
sure.
of the few ones that they saw that was worthy
Alex
to
that
them, you know.
Alexander the Great was probably where they adopted that from. He probably like just after Alexander the Great because
Again, we're going on a huge
yeah,
tangent.
we are.
I just forgot this was even a review. Uh,
Yeah, Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Yeah. So we was going over Arthur Harrow. Uh, I I know that it was cheesy, but my favorite scene, to be honest, is Moon Knight and Arthur Harrow running at each other on the pyramid. That's
Yeah.
like so cool. And I love how he's still in his cult outfit. He does not like even if like he's an avatar, he doesn't like don like super suit or anything. He just keeps the staff but makes it like an axe.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah,
literally just
and
got like a cult leader flying around.
I will be a little sad that we didn't get as much like closure with his like definitely his own storyline that was going on, especially if he did just get like fucking fucking capped.
He did. That there's no doubting that. Like
Yeah. I don't know if they'll have like a little bit more of a lead up to that if they do a season two, you know?
maybe
But
maybe the first episode might start out with like an interrogation or something, but I don't see that happening.
but yeah, it almost felt like yeah, we got a bunch of closure for like the actual protagonists, but I feel a little left empty with the antagonists like story just because even they did them so well. Like, you know, with his
Definitely.
like
And
the
I
setting up
think
with his penance of like him wearing the shoes. And they even showed just like a tiny bit of his evil when he like starts using civilians as a distraction.
oh yeah, for sure.
And they weren't even ones that were, you know, they didn't get sucked up, so that obviously they are good.
Yeah, so he definitely was just trying to serve his god at that time, which of course they we have to establish right now. Amit is not judging people on their sins. She's judging them based on their usefulness. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
Cause that one old lady's like, I've never done anything wrong, and to be honest, I know I shouldn't believe every old lady that I hear, but
I don't know. There's some pretty wretched old ladies.
yeah, I understand. But that
She
one
could have
did
she could have like she could have like there was like some I don't know.
some
She could have like saw some black
anti-Semitism.
kids. Yeah, she could have saw some black kids like playing basketball at the park, and then said like, "Oh, I think I saw one of them with a gun to the police or something." You never know.
I mean, yeah, that's fucked up. I can't justify
That's a
that, but
common old
I
lady
don't
thing.
I I don't think that the random village in the Alps has to deal with that too tough.
I don't know that it was gypsies. Whatever they have that is the discriminating group of people.
Oh shit.
That'd be
Maybe, but
Polish
I
people
like
then.
I said, she didn't seem like she was evil, but I don't have magical scales and I don't have the ability to like see into the future. Maybe like she was gonna kill her husband or something, and we just don't know that yet. I don't know. I just feel it's a little heartless to just be killing people without knowing, you know? At least
Yeah, I do
Khonshu
too.
waits a little bit, which is bad. He shouldn't wait, but he should at least like at least wait until the act is right at initiation, you know? Try to at least
Yeah, it's
prevent
kind of
the act
hard
from
because
happening.
we don't really know how accurate the scales are. I mean, or like what that
We
really
don't even know
entails.
if like because Toetta, the hippo goddess of she's actually the goddess of motherhood and fertility, I believe. She's the one
Mhm.
with the scales. So
Yeah.
I don't know how Ahmet's using the scales when she's not even on the boat. Like what
Yeah.
scales? What I need to see these scales and I need you to calibrate them in front of me, man.
Yeah, it's like when
This dime bag is a tint off.
what was it like the Patriots when they had to investigate whether or not they were like deflating the balls?
Yes.
We need a full investigation.
Like how
Show us these scales.
and I need to feel this feather too because she might be using a rigged feather.
Definitely using a rigged feather.
See now there's just so many
Also, like I
factors we
wonder like
need.
what I don't even know like what is considered evil in the Egyptian eye either, too, because it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I know
see now
Christianity has a bunch of stupid things that is considered evil.
yeah, it's just like we need a rule book and we need
It's like why did he get killed? Oh well, he had crushed genitals.
can't be going around that's sin. Oh
Like I want to
shit.
know what she's judging.
Yeah, I
On
need a rule
what
book.
moral code?
I need a rule book and you need to calibrate the scales in front of me. None of this bullshit. None of this just trust in your word for it.
Yeah, no tattoo scales. Those don't show anything.
And to be honest, I think you would be able to manipulate the tattoo scales a lot easier than the scales that you got to put the feather in the heart on. And notice how she's completely bypassing that step of the process. There, she's not using
Mhm.
a feather. Or they're on the tattoo. A heart and a feather don't pop up when they're judging people. The scales just start shaking, and I don't know what like we've established we don't know what she's using to judge these people. So I just
A
think it's
bowl of
like I
milk.
want this person to die. So boom, you're dead.
Mhm. Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering. I almost was like expecting like an actual full-on reveal of something like that, but they didn't really go into it.
Nope. And I don't
It
think
seemed
they
like,
ever will
but they made it
because
seem like she wasn't really like mis she wasn't like misusing the thing or like it seemed like what she was doing was genuine but still evil, of course, because she's killing people before then. But it does seem like she was like doing what she was saying,
not
like
only
she
that,
believed
but
it.
she was killing people based on thought as well. Let's put that out
Yeah,
there. Like just just having the simple thought and I hate to bring this up because this is a bit of a touchy thought crime. Technically not a crime.
yeah, that's what I'm wondering. It's like, and is it like if it's just an intrusive thought, or is it like a genuine thought you have for a second, then you're like, ah, no, because it's like, and then what's the context of a thought? Because it's like, oh, did you get tempted of like stealing from like a mega corporation like Walmart that wouldn't even
Like
that does more harm than it gives?
yeah, like yeah. I need the rule book. We need the fucking rule book. And Taletta, she don't have the rule book. She has all the cards to like do like explain like what's going on to you, but she didn't have a fucking rule book either.
And who's got the rule book? Who's
Like that.
got that Shinigami rule book that
Yeah, I love I love that you pointed that out actually because I didn't pick that up. Khonshu does give like strong Shinigami, like he's a Shinigami that semi wants to just fuck with humanity in a way.
A Shinigami that watched like or is really into Batman too much or the Punisher.
Yeah, for sure. That
Yeah, he's a big Punisher fan.
yeah.
Honestly, he should just get Punisher. Punisher will do
Yeah,
it.
I did. That's another thing that but I guess Jake Lockley doesn't have a conscience. See, the Punisher, I guess he only. I don't understand why he doesn't get Frank Castle.
Frank
Like,
Castle is the perfect amount of conscience.
like the fuck.
It's barely any there.
I guess because he said it himself that he wants Mark because Frank Castle's too sound mind for an
Hmm.
avatar. He wants a broken vessel for some reason, and instead of one that's his morals are solid to the point where if the Ghost Rider does his stare of vengeance, it's supposed to kill you no matter what. Make
Hmm.
and doesn't affect you, and Ghost Rider fucking gets scared.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be fucking. I know that we probably wouldn't get that scene, but I would love to get that fucking scene.
There's a ton of things you could do with Ghost Rider meeting characters.
Yes, I know.
I would yeah, Moon Knight and Moon Knight crossover would be cool and would be more viable since it's already Marvel. But I always wanted an interaction or like a fan or not even a fan comic because it's not even fan comics. They've released like cross
Yeah, for
cross
sure.
ones all the time. I would love to have a Hellboy Ghost Rider one
Oh, that would be fucking
because
cool.
you'd have a good like reason for them to fight because he's just like straight up a Hellboy's a demon, so he's
Yeah,
gonna
for
be
sure.
automatically like aggressive towards him at first,
Hmm.
and
All
then
right.
supernatural stuff. But yeah, now we're getting off in
Yeah,
different
getting
things too.
another
But
tangent. Moon Knight. Let's talk about the soundtrack real quick, and then we will wrap this up.
um, from what I sound, I didn't like listen to the full credits of each one of them, but there's some pretty good jams that I definitely probably will be looking back on.
Oh man, there's some oldies in this. There's like a couple of oldies
Mhm.
in this that I fucking
Yeah.
loved, dude. That I was like, fuck yeah, man. Like,
Mhm.
and that's what I loved. Like, the soundtrack, out of all the movies that's coming out nowadays, the soundtrack's so fucking unique. Actually, in
Mhm.
today's, I know like back in like the '90s, these are like the songs you would probably hear like all the time in movies. But man, what a breath of fresh air for a soundtrack.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
so yeah, you are at a 4.5 out of 5.
Yep, I
And
am.
I'm gonna stick with my 4. Like I said, I needed a little more if they wanted that extra point 0.5 from me. It five
Yeah, I
more episodes, a little
totally agree
more.
that I do want more too.
I want a hell of a lot more. And if they gave me a Mr. Knight, I I know that I'm kind of harping on this a little bit, but man, I want my fucking Mr. Knight, man. I don't even care about Moon Knight, the separate Moon Knight personality. I just want my separate Mr. Knight. You don't know how happy I was when I first watched it and I saw the outfit. I was like, and he landed like a badass, like he did the superhero landing that's terrible for your knees.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I was like, oh fuck. Oh fuck. Is he Mr. Knight? Is he Mr. Knight? And then he falls over and it's Steven's voice and I'm just like, no. Damn it. Them bastards.
But yeah, I feel like mainly my point five is that like I feel like this could have been. It always depends on like this reality of like if they picked someone else and then how bad it would have been. It could have easily have even just like if it was only on the story alone, could have been like a 3.5 or something. But Oscar Isaac just is
Oh,
great.
he did phenomenal in this.
And he's I mean I've liked him in everything I've seen, even things that like he wasn't. I mean that even things that weren't good themselves, he was still good in
Yeah,
them.
he's all. I to be honest, I've never
Star
seen a bad
Wars
performance
for
from him.
one, yeah.
Star
Star
Wars,
Wars,
that's just
Dune,
bad. That's bad direction. That's not on
yeah,
the actor's part.
yeah. But of course, but he's still like
He's still
still the fact that he's so charming and stuff
yeah.
like that.
He's
That's why
still
like a lot of people
Poe
still
is
like
the
him.
best. I have to say Poe is the best out of the new trilogy. Poe is the best
Mhm.
character that I out of all of them.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the
He's
best.
the
Like,
smartest too. And I hate how in the second one they keep him like in the dark the whole time, even though
mhm.
he's the one you can trust the most.
Yeah. That's
But
I thought he was a perfect choice for if you're going for what he's supposed to be is sort of like what a substitute for Han Solo basically, right?
yeah, for sure, definitely.
To fill in that niche, you know. And he's really good in Dune too. And that movie was like
I
kind of
haven't
nothing
watched
to
Dune.
me.
I have not watched Dune. I probably will not watch Dune because most likely we are not getting any more Dune movies.
And also, it's like then I feel like I just have to read Dune to appreciate that series, and I just don't want to put the commitment.
Yeah.
But he was great in that. I mean, his acting was fucking great in that. I was like surprised sitting there being like, oh yeah.
Fuck yeah. All
I'm
right.
sad. I'm sad that spoiler that he dies pretty
If I'm not
quickly.
mistaken, he plays the head elf in Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Oh shit, does he?
Yeah, I think that's Oscar Isaac. You know what? Before we sign off, I'm gonna double
What
check
if,
real quick. I think he plays the fucking head elf.
yeah, I'm gonna look at. I don't even mind just looking at an Oscar Isaac filmography right now. Might have to put him on our list of actors.
No, no, that is a completely different character. That is David Krumholtz.
Oh.
He does not look the same. I
I
mean,
mean,
now
when's the
he
last time
doesn't.
we've actually seen
Now
that?
he does not look the same. Like back when back then he does look kind of like Oscar Isaac, but now he does not look the same. He's gained a lot of weight. I'm just gonna say that.
Gotta put him out. Gotta put him out there like that, huh? Apparently, he was Apocalypse and X-Men Apocalypse,
Yeah, he was.
which I guess I wouldn't have
That yeah,
really caught.
that there was a lot of makeup. But like I
It's
did,
like,
but Apocalypse was the best thing in that movie too.
huh?
Yeah, you.
Oh, it looks like he's gonna be. Oh, he's in the. I guess he's Gomez Adams in those new Adams Family movies too.
Oh
Except
shit.
they're animated, though. I was about to say that's like pretty good casting, but then I'm like, oh yeah, they're animated, so you could just got any voice for that.
But he's a good voice actor.
There's actually not a lot that he's in.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot. We could probably do his whole filmology.
It's like a lot of films I've never heard of. Apparently, he's in Ex Machina.
Oh shit. All
Looks
right,
like a
so
small role
we've
though.
gone on way long enough.
Oh shit! He's John King of England in a Robin Hood movie, a 2010 Robin Hood movie.
Hell yeah, yeah,
Oh, Russell Crowe. Oh, it's one of those movies.
definitely putting him on our list of golden boys for sure.
Yeah,
All right,
definitely.
so we've gone on long enough. Your rating was a 4.5. Mine was a 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
And if you've been listening this long, thank you so much. We've gone on a lot of tangents in this one. Please like or comment, dislike on the video and share it around. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. And go check out some more of our content. We have some Let's Plays. We've completed Pokemon. We are on God of War right now. Going to complete that pretty soon, actually. And we have more Loose Butthole reviews you can watch. Yes, yes. Do you have a sign off that you want to give, Spooge?
Oh, no.
No? No sign off from
Nah.
Spooge this go around. Alright, this will be a bye-bye.
Yeah, make your own sign off. Write your sign off in the comments.
Hell yeah. This will be a bye-bye.
Bye bye.